What's up everyone, Jay here with Solo YGO, and today we're bringing out the birds again. It's been a while since we dusted them off. It's doing pretty well in the format, at least as a rogue option, a good option in general. Not too hurt by Kashtira's banish effects, so yeah, we'll get straight into it. Still mandatory, you gotta play 3 Robina. Nothing's really changed there. It's the best one because it gets you to level 4. Usually going to Eaglin or whatever you need. Speaking of Eaglin, we're also playing 3 Eaglin. You gotta play that. It's mandatory. These are the only 2 3-ofs we're playing for the birds. And then to round off these small birds, we're gonna be playing 1 Stree and 1 token. Tokens your add back from Banish, and Strees your Banish from their grave. It's like your searchable DD Crow basically. And then to go on to the big birds, we've got 2 Impin for our Floowandereeze monsters. And then for our honorary Floowandereeze monsters, we got Apex Avian and Rise of the Mega Monarch. That's going to round off our actual monsters for the deck that are used as monsters anyways. We have hand traps, RIP Barrier Statue. He would have been in the lineup for sure. And then for the Floowandereeze spells and traps, we'll start out with 3 map. Map's absolutely amazing. Allows you to extend out. Allows you to get a monster on board before you even use your regular normal summon. Just really good. Yeah, I can't say much more about map. If they want to hit this deck, I could see them doing this as a consistency hit or Advent, something like that. I believe that's what they did in the OCG. They hit map semi-limited and limited at one point. Not sure. Then we have 3 Floowandereeze in the Advent Adventure out of Battles of Chaos. The set originally released in Burst of Destiny in November of 2021, but it wasn't until Floowandereeze in the Advent Adventure came out in Battles of Chaos the following year that this deck was really able to take off. We are using Book of Moon cards today in the side deck for anyways for us, but a lot of people are doing them in the main. But before this card, everybody was using Book of Moon because they didn't have any other way to dodge hand traps like Impermanent Veiler. But Fateful Adventure allows you to banish it off for cost, and you get a search, and your monster effect goes through, and you gain life points, which can help in time. So this card's absolutely insane. You have to play it as a 3-of. Like I said, that could be another consistency hit down the road potentially. And then for the 1-ofs, I've seen some people playing multiple Dreaming Towns. That's not incorrect, you can. And I've seen people play multiple Unexplored Winds. Again, not incorrect, you can, but I believe 1 each is good for what we're going for. We're trying to make it a tight 40, and we don't have any more room, so I believe this is the good option. Unexplored Winds, you can even send cards back from your hand to try and get some more hand traps in hand. You can use your opponent's cards as tributes. It doesn't have to be just a monster, it can be any card. This was a great out to Mystic Mind back in the day. And then Floowandereeze and Dreaming Town, normal summon on your opponent's turn, even when they don't play into Dreaming Town, or sorry, excuse me, Magnificent Map. Even though they don't play in a Magnificent Map, you use Dreaming Town, so that's really good. And then it's got the Graveyard Book of Moon effect for your opponent's monsters. And then the God cards, we got 3 Pot of Prosperity. Absolutely insane, the fact that you don't really care about your extra deck in this deck. If you guys are unfamiliar, new to the deck, essentially it's a normal summon deck. It allows you to cheat out more normal summons, so you don't special summon. But as a consequence of them allowing you to cheat out more normal summons, you cannot special summon. Therefore, the extra deck's pretty much pointless. We have a bunch of utility cards, but you're hardly ever going to go into them. For the most part, it's free fodder for Prosperity. That is the main reason to play an extra deck in this deck. Next up, we have Pot of Duality. Absolutely insane that this deck can utilize this card because we don't special summon. The fact that you have 6 consistency cards like Prosperity and Duality is just insane. And then we have our main deck outs. What hurts us? Droll and Lockbird for sure. So Called by the Grave, you got to play it. Just kind of mandatory for this deck. It's a 1-of, so the investment in it is not too heavy nonetheless. And then Harpy's Feather Duster for there can be only 1. That hurts us a lot. Even Goes in Match can hurt us because we play water and wind. So, and just allows you to play freely. Again, it's at once and investment's nothing too crazy. This deck can go off with a single card. So because of that, we don't need to play much more board breakers than DarkAuraLord No More. As long as we can play by negating the opponent's board, we can go off. 1 card starter, that's all it takes. Robina, just take it from there. So that's all we need. We need a way to play. The deck can play second just because we run a lot of hand traps, but DarkAuraLord just makes it a lot easier. D-Shifter, the God card, side this out for 3 Book of Moon if you're playing Kashtira. It's easy as that. But to have it against any other deck just feels amazing. I personally just couldn't bring myself to cut it, even though there's other banished decks running around. And also, with Droll and Lockbird running around, this literally protects us from it. So this is protection from Droll and Lockbird built into the deck. And we are playing hand traps that can play under D-Shifter, such as Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, because it only discards. You don't have to send it to the graveyard like a lot of the other ones. And then, of course, Infinite Impermanence, because it plays on the field, then it can go to the banish afterwards, doesn't matter. So that rounds off a tight 40-card list. I do like Imperm and Ash because of unexplored winds. Like I mentioned, you can send back your hand when it starts to get too big, and hopefully get rewarded into some hand traps for interruptions. So we're going to do the extra deck really fast. But let's just start with what's kind of mandatory. Nightingale to attack directly, Downard to overlay over it, and Zeus to overlay over that. Here's your Zeus package. Here's your Oh Crap button. And you'll hardly ever use it, but it's there in case you need it. Other than that, the majority of the extra deck just doesn't really matter. We have utility cards, but it's just not going to be anything too crazy. To round it off, we got one Recital Starling. Probably never even use it. It's probably one of the first ones on Prosperity. We've got some random synchros, Fluor Psychic in, and Omega. At least it's got a graveyard effect. We got a level 1 Link Rebo. You can go on level 1. We got Dagger, Harpy's Conductor, Farrajeet. This is actually decent, I guess. You can get another one and go into a level 3, or sorry, a Link 3 for some removal with Unicorn. And then to quickly round it off, we got Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix, Apollosa. That could be Axis Go Talker. Probably that's better, but again, it doesn't really matter. And then Unrolled Goddess. Just to beat a dead horse, it doesn't matter. As long as you have your Zeus removal, a lot of these just will never come up. And if they do come up, you just kind of laugh at yourself, because this deck is not meant to go into the extra deck. So, well, that's it for you guys. That was the Floowandereeze deck profile for the month of July 2023. If you guys have any questions, let me down below. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.